I always wondered how to cut tile, and there's many ways to do it. And today we're going to talk about the wet tile saw and how to use it. So stick around, and I'll see you guys right after the intro. Okay, so it's good to note that they have different types of wet tile saws. They have the table saws, or the table tile saws, where the blade sticks up from the table, kind of like a table saw for wood. And then they have this type, which is the wet saw with a sliding platform like that with a guide. So what you do is you place your tile on the sliding platform, and you've measured or marked your line on the tile, and you push it along, lining up with the blade, and you push it along where the blade cuts it. And some platforms also extend further back, to allow a larger size tile to be placed on it so you can cut it, right? So let's talk about the blade for a second. If you notice here, the blade is not like a miter saw blade or anything like that, or a table saw blade for wood. It's not serrated. It's a smooth edged blade. And let's get another profile right here. So a diamond cut blade is probably the best choice for a tile. But if you're not doing a big job, a regular blade will do. So you have also a pump. So some wet tile saws come with a built-in water reservoir. But this one right here has a pump that you can stick it in a bucket of water or something like that, and it pumps the water through the hose right here all the way up, and that water sprays onto the blade, as you can see right there, to cool it off. And that's what the pump is for. And you need water. So using a wet tile saw can get kind of messy, and you want to cool off the blade, and you want to kind of reduce the amount of dust that flies all over the place, and that's what the water is for. So there's the pump right there. So we'll see how that works later. And this right here, of course, is the water pan, and that you can drain. Has a drain here. And this is the power switch. And that's pretty much the basics of a wet tile saw. Now, some wet tile saws allow you to make bevel cuts, and this portion here, the blade can tilt over. Now, if you watch my miter saw video, you'll see that the miter saw can make bevel cuts by tilting over as well. And you can cut, of course, at an angle that way. And some tile saws also allow you to make plunge cuts as well. So there would be a handle here, and you can raise it up, kind of like in the miter saw video. And you can raise it up and bring it down, like that. That's a plunge cut. So you have different types of tile saws out there with various accessories to allow you to make different kinds of cuts and make your job a lot easier. Okay, so you want to make sure that this right here is plugged into the pump right there, like that. Because if this is not plugged into the pump there, then guess what? You're not going to have any water coming to the machine. Also, make sure that the pathway is open by turning this lever here, or knob, if you want to call it that. Make that parallel to the hose itself. Okay, if you want to shut off the water, then you do that. So let's open that up so the water can flow. And then we'll put it in our bucket here. And let's test it out to see if that water is going to be pumped in here. So let's make sure this hose right here is directed towards the blade as best we can. Doesn't seem like it wants to stay there. All right. Okay, guys, I know this looks kind of bootleg here, but you know what, who cares? I'm just trying to show you guys how a tile saw works. And let me show you what I did here. This hose here was, you know, it was twisted and bending out that way, so it was not pointing towards the blade. So what I did was I took an old hanger here and twisted it up, wrapped it around the, you know, the body here. And what that did was that allowed me to stick the hose, you know, through there, right there, like that. So it pointed toward the blade. So let's see. As you can see, the water's running because I tested it out, but I'll show you guys anyway how that works. Otherwise, if I didn't do that, the water would be spouting out this way and that way or whatever. And that wouldn't do no good with it. So this is what happened here. So sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, right? Okay, so let's test this baby out here. And don't forget, always put your safety glasses on. Okay, let's put our tile on the platform. And we're not going to worry about where to cut so much. This is just a how-to video, and I'm just showing you guys how to cut with a tile saw. So we're just going to cut where the blade hits, which would be right there. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to get the blade running before you even do anything, and get it running up to a good speed, which is pretty fast, before you feed it any material. Make sure you plug it in. And sometimes you need to reset it so that it works. So here we go. Let's see. You want to do it slow. You don't want to force it. Looks like a nice clean cut to me, guys. What do you think? Yep. When I started, the water was about here. And see how the pump sucked up all that water? Yep. Now, you may be wondering what these angled lines are on the platform here. By the way, this is a rubber type of material here. I guess that's to help to grip the tile, of course, when you place it on there. But what you can do with those angled lines is you can line up your tile like so with them and cut your tile at an angle like that if you have to, you know? So that's what those are for. And of course you have the measurements, the increments on the guide here in case, you know, you need to say, hey, I need to cut 2-3 inches. Okay. You got 2-3 inches right here. You just boom. So that's that.